Hey, welcome. I recently went flying out west and came back east and took a couple firearms with me, and I wanted to share my experience that was a success and had no issues. So hopefully this will maybe answer any questions that someone who hasn't flown with guns will have. One question I did have before flying that I researched using the TSA website and the airlines that we were going to and the Delta website and a couple others just for reference was the question I had was about ammo and how to store it and how to fly with it. So the only thing I could really find was about the 10-pound limit per person and about having it in the manufacturer's box. But sometimes you'll find that you can get away with having it in the magazine, and some airlines specifically say you can't. So I wasn't really sure what to do, so I ended up packing it separate from the guns in its own lockable box, putting it in the manufacturer's boxes, and kept it in the same suitcase, and that worked. And so what I had was these 357 Grizzly rounds and the 9mm in this Barnes box. And then I threw this speed strip on top. And one note is something that kind of silly, but I was curious about is if I had to have this exact ammo in here, and the answer is no. I had most out of 20 rounds. I probably had, I think it was 10 rounds were the Grizzly hardcast 357, and then the other 10 were 38 special hollow points. And then same for the Barnes. I had 2 mags worth of 9mm HSTs, and then the rest were these Barnes. And then just threw this on top, closed it, locked it, threw it in the suitcase next to this box in the suitcase, and had no issues. So when we showed up to check our bags in at Delta, we stood in the normal check bag line, and then asked somebody walking by that was assisting, asked them a question, and they directed us over to the Oversized Luggage. So we went into Oversized Luggage, stood in line for barely 2 minutes, and told the lady at the front that we needed to declare firearms. And she was super nice, super easy, asked if they were unloaded. I said yes, and she handed me the little orange unloaded tag that I had to sign, and then she told me to lay the bag down and set the unloaded card on top of the case and not to unlock it, not to open it. So I appreciated that I didn't have to open my case and show my guns to everybody standing around. She just had me throw it on top, keep it locked, keep it closed. And then she weighed my bag, I paid, and then she pointed us over her shoulder to the oversized bag check, and we actually rolled our suitcases ourselves over to the oversized bag check, and they took the bag, put it through the machine right then and there, and scanned it, and we stood around and waited for them to clear us. And so I appreciated that too, that we actually were able to wait until they actually scanned our bag and then gave us the go ahead and showed us the bag and said that we were good to go. And then we walked away and got on our plane. So when we arrived in Phoenix, we just went straight to the Oversized Luggage and picked it up, showed our ID, and we were on our way. And then when we flew out with Denver, out of Denver, the only difference was that we had to walk about 200 yards from the Delta oversized bag check to where they actually scanned the gun. So super easy. I would definitely recommend it if anybody was hesitant. At least if you're flying Delta, and going to those airports, I can say that it was an easy experience. So I would definitely recommend it. One quick note is the way that I had this in the suitcase was I closed the box, of course. I had the cable, as you can see, attached to the pole that to the handle that you roll with, that goes down in here and kind of telescopes in. So I had this locked around there. I had clothes layered, and then I set the lock box down towards the bottom. I put the cable in, closed it, locked it, kind of laid the cable in and ended up zipping this back up and made it work pretty nice. So you can kind of go like that with it, zip it back up, hide that so it's only sticking out a little bit, and then I set the ammo in here, layered the clothes on top of it, and then when I had to put the unloaded orange card, I just laid it right on top and put the clothes back on top of it, and so it worked perfect. The only thing that happened is my sticker kind of got a little marred up, but I think that was just from traveling. And so this is not necessarily a TSA lock, but this case is TSA approved, and so is this master lock case is also TSA approved. And then you can see here I've got the suitcase was locked with this super easy bypassable TSA lock, so no big deal. It went perfect. I would recommend it. So I think that's all I got. Thanks for watching, and definitely if you have any questions, let me know. I'll try to answer them. The only other thing I wanted to mention is that God is faithful, so he is loyal to his plan, and if you want to be a part of God's kingdom, all you have to do is accept the gift of salvation from Jesus and follow God's will, and it's our Lord's good pleasure to give us the kingdom, so don't miss out. Thanks.